Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and as many of you are probably aware, thanks to my posts on both Facebook and my Discord server, I was in the hospital for a little bit to take care of some of my mental health issues. And even though it's almost impossible to permanently take care of mental health, I at least have a plan going forward and got some pretty good professional opinions from both my primary care doctor and a psychiatrist. So hopefully I'll be okay moving forward. I do thank all of you for your concern. I very much appreciate each and every one of you. I'm glad I have not just the family and friends network that I have, but also a strong community that's willing to share and be kind and respectful. So, today I thought I would try something just a little bit different. First of all, well, that number doesn't mean anything, so I'll just roll again. Alright, classic soundtrack it is. Today, I thought I would try something just a little bit different. I would like to do a little bit of crossover content. And when I say crossover, I mean I'm going to try combining two things that I really like. In this case, that would be Wizard of Legend and r/Am I the Asshole. Why do I want to do this? What purpose does this possibly have? Mostly because why not? But in all seriousness, though, I have been enjoying r/Am I the Asshole for quite a while now, and I find it to be both interesting and cathartic. And especially while I was just down and out of it for a little while, r/AITA has been a huge source of joy for me. I find there to be something very fun about that particular subreddit, and I want to read a few stories. There we go. That's what we're gonna go with. So the idea being that I am is basically either between every floor or every just generalized level, as it may be, I am going to stop and actually read the post, and then I'll go into my opinion and discussion of the subject matter. Now, as per usual, but I feel it's good to bring up, my opinion may very much differ with the opinion of the Reddit community. Might not always, and no, I'm not gonna. For something of this nature where I'm trying something out for the first time, I am not going to take the retro floor plan. If anything, I would like to look for something like Melting Pot, just to give me a little bit of leeway here. But as you can see, I've got myself set up with a pretty decent Dark Katana build. And we are going to ride that wave all the way to the end of the run. I do not want that. I don't actually want the makeshift bridge, because I want to be able to knock enemies into pits. Some of the easiest rooms in the game are ones that have open pits that I can just push stupid enemies into. Alright, having a hard time finding the relic I'm looking for. So allow me to explain what I mean. Oh, there's Melting Pot. When I say between every floor, I don't necessarily mean between level 1-1 and 1-2. I mean more so between level 1-1 and then level 2-1. So the goal is for there to be 3 stories that we discussed during this run, but there may very well be a need to go over a few different stories, depending on the length of them and how much there is to talk about. But that having been said, let's see what our run looks like. We're dealing with Atlas right off the bat. So having an Earth-based signature is going to be an issue. So here is our first post, and this one was posted by Miranda Addison 13, and the story is, am I the asshole for silently getting up and walking out of the restaurant during New Year's Eve dinner after I was told to pay for everyone at the table? So, here's the story, and once I'm done with the story, we will start going through the level and we'll discuss. I, 32 female, recently inherited a good amount of money from my mom. I keep the money in a separate account as I still haven't decided what to do with it and I didn't want it to go to waste. Reasonable. I noticed my husband constantly bringing up the inheritance money and making countless suggestions as to how I should spend it. Another thing is that he expects me to pay for nearly everything the past couple of weeks. For New Year's Eve, my husband and I met up with his family at a restaurant to celebrate. It was going fine until I found out that I was expected to pay for everyone at the table. My husband's mom joked about me paying for dinner out of my inheritance pocket, which made me livid, but I showed no reaction. I just silently paid for my own food and drinks, and then got up and made my way out of the restaurant. They were shouting after me like a crowd, and my husband tried to get me to come back, but I just drove home. He got back at 3 a.m. yelling at me that I was pathetic for getting up and walking out on him and his family after they relied on me to pay for their food. They thought I was gracious enough to do it, but they were wrong. He said I humiliated him and family, and that what I did was an attempt to get back at them for not being able to help my mom when she was sick. Not true is all I'm gonna say. He is mad and saying that I caused a huge rift between his family and me, when it wouldn't have hurt for me to pay for a celebratory dinner. Am I the asshole? Alright, so now let's go ahead and get started with the run while we discuss this. Are you the asshole for not paying for that dinner? Well, part of the problem that I'm seeing with this whole thing is that no one really asked you if you would even be willing to pay for that dinner. They just sort of expected it because you had inheritance money. Like, seriously, what the actual fuck is that all about? Like, has that ever happened to any of you? Have you, like, come into money after for whatever reason, you just suddenly came into a nice little chunk of money, and then suddenly everyone around you started expecting you to use that money for friggin' everything? I'm gonna say that, in my opinion, hello, over. This is gonna be a good run. Are you the asshole? No one is the asshole for being upset about being used like that. Matter of fact, it seems kind of reasonable that you would get that inheritance money and then kind of siphon it away into a different account while you decided what you were going to do with that money. Because who knows, maybe you want to, like, save half of it, put it towards some sort of, like, real estate holdings. Maybe you want to put it towards some sort of charity. Maybe you want to set up a trust fund for your children. Who knows? All I know is that you are not the asshole for wanting to save some of your inheritance money and put it away. And the just crude expectation that your in-laws are like, oh, you have inheritance money, so you should pay for everything. Again, what the hell kind of shit is that? It's rude and disrespectful, and let's be fair. I think even though the poster said that they're not mad that her husband and his in-laws didn't necessarily help with her dying mother, like, the fact of the matter is, I'm sure she would rather have her mother than a sum of money. Anyone who says otherwise is a supremely greedy jerk. Ooh, you know I want that. Yeah, give me that sword. Then I would want... I mean, honestly, that's a nice little bit of control right there as Mock Stunner, but am I going to have the money for both that and relics? Like, I'm not even 100% sure that there are going to be relics that I want. Like, you're... like, I would say that they're making a mountain out of a molehill, but there never was a molehill to begin with. It was her inheritance money. Why are you treating her as if she owes you something? So no, you are definitely not the asshole for not paying for that meal. Your husband and his in-laws sound super entitled. They sound like just gross, nasty-ass people. And I don't blame you for just going, you know what? I'm out. See ya. So yeah, in my opinion, you did the right thing there. Like, there's no reason why just because you came into some inheritance money, you're supposed to do that. I mean, would it be nice? Sure, it would be nice, but it shouldn't be an expectation. Like, seriously, people get so weird about money. It's like the moment they sense that someone has come into some even just menial amount of wealth, some people are just there like hungry sharks, like, I'm gonna get some of that, right? I'm gonna get some of that, right? Like, you know, if it's their choice to give you some of their inheritance money, they will. But it's not something that should be goddamn expected. Seriously. Ooh, okay, this is definitely priority. Owie. So no, I don't feel too bad about them being embarrassed in front of a bunch of people at a restaurant, because who does that to someone, let alone their significant other? It's like, oh, you're just gonna pay for this because you have money and it's what I want. Like, you need to be taught a lesson in humility. Both her husband and her in-laws need, and her husband's in. Her husband and his family. I'm sorry, I lack the nuance to speak English today, which is really difficult when you're trying to read stories. But yeah, definitely not the asshole. And so what? So what if you embarrassed them? They embarrassed you by putting you on the spot and going, yeah, give us money. We're definitely upgrading that. Oh, I see what I want. And I already pretty much have the build right here. I just need, well, I don't need, but I would like some things to improve my gold find and damage, and I'm set. Like, this run basically built itself, and I'm super happy about that. Alright, let me double check. Yeah, there's nothing there I want. Like, I wouldn't mind having something fire-based to deal with Shu with, but I'm not going to complain about what I have. This is definitely a good start. In fact, this is almost the entire run, as we're going to need it. We even have the Pathfinder's knapsack to restore some health between every floor, so that's fan-freaking-tastic if you ask me. 1, 2, 3. Drill. I can do that too. There we go. Alright, that was a beautiful first floor. And now we move on to the next floor. And incidentally, on to our next Am I the Asshole post. Let's see. This is a longer one, and I've seen this story. I've seen this story a few times. And this one also has a nice little update. And I'm gonna guess a number of you have seen this story going around before as well. But here we go. This is posted by Throwaway T. Am I the asshole for taking my niece to court over a coat? I, 28 female, have a niece, 16 female. She is my only sister's child. 2 years ago, I married a very wealthy man, 34 male, and because of the pandemic, last Christmas was my first with my in-laws. My mother-in-law gifted me a coat that is worth more than $20,000. Boy, oh boy. I saw her wearing it, asked her where she bought it, and she said it will be my Christmas gift from her. I didn't know how much it was. I knew it was expensive, but I thought maybe $3,000 at most. Quick pause, that's still goddamn expensive for a coat. Like, that's quite a coat, but now let's go like 6.5 times that 3,000 amount. I'm going, oh my god! I was visiting my sister last January when my niece saw it. She googled the brand and showed me how much it really was. I won't lie, I didn't wear it after that because I was afraid of ruining it. But last week, I wore it while visiting my sister. While I was putting it back on to leave, I felt something go on my back, and my niece started cackling and the smell of paint hit me. I was so pissed off while she was not apologetic at all. Her mom screamed at her and she was grounded. Then she said she will pay for the dry cleaning. While I was in the car, still in shock by the way, I got an alert that my niece posted a reel. It was of her doing a prank on me, and she said, "I'm gonna hit my aunt's $20,000 coat with a paint-filled balloon and see how she reacts." I saved it on my phone, sent it to her mom, and told her that a week's grounding is not enough. She did not reply, but I saw that my niece took it down. It got less than 5 views, by the way, so any number between 0 and 4. The next day, I found out my coat cannot be saved, so I called my sister and told her that her daughter has to pay it back. Well, we got into an argument, and she said that they will not be paying it, and if I wanted a new one, I should get my husband to buy it for me. I think that they should pay for it. They can afford to. In my opinion, they should sell my niece's car and pay me back my money. Very good point. We did not reach an agreement, so I told her that I will be suing and reminded her that I have video evidence that her daughter, A, did it on purpose for online clout, a really bad reason to do stupid things, and B, knew exactly how expensive it was. People in my life are not objective at all. I have some calling me an asshole, some saying that they're the assholes for not buying me a new one, and some so obsessed with the price of the coat that they're calling me an asshole for simply owning it and wanting a new one. Whatever. So, am I the asshole? Edit. Sorry for not making it clear, but my coat was bought new, just identical to my mother-in-law's. So now let's go to the update. So I just read you the original post. Now we're going to quick read the update before I continue on Zeal's Forge. So, here is a quick update, since the situation has been resolved. When my husband got home, I told him what happened and showed him the video. He asked if I spoke with my brother-in-law. I said no, all my conversations were with my sister. He said he will take care of it. Now, a disclaimer. I understand nothing when it comes to insurance claims, and this is what my husband told me, and I understand what happened. My husband talked to my brother-in-law, told him exactly what happened, and showed him the prank video. Then he told him that the coat was insured, we will be filing a claim, blah, 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 and submitting the video, and we might have to file charges for the claim. He assured him that we would be dropping the charges. We do not want to send my niece to jail. Then he told him that one of two things will happen. After our insurance pays us, they will come after them. If their insurance pays, their premium will skyrocket. If it doesn't, they might sue them and might get a lien on their house. My brother-in-law asked if there was a way he could pay us without involving insurance. My husband told him that was what we wanted at first, but my sister insisted that they will not be paying us back. Apparently, my brother-in-law was not in the know, and he was very pissed off at what my niece did, as well as at my sister's response. So they came to this solution. My niece's car will be sold, and if it doesn't fetch the whole compensation money, she will have to get a job and pay me the whole check until it is paid off. She is also grounded for the rest of the school year. I am thankful to the people who encouraged me to talk with my husband. Honestly, that seems like a fair outcome, and shame on the niece for doing something that stupid just for the sake of online clout. I mean, who does things like that? Don't answer that question. The existence of prank videos very much tells me that there's a lot of people that do things like that, and honestly, shame on all of them, because that's a really shitty thing to do to people, just for your 10 seconds of online fame. Now, it could be argued that people like me are doing the same thing, playing video games online for fame, but you know what we're not doing? We're not throwing pink balloons at our family members' $20,000 goddamn coats. And it's not that uncommon for people to watch others play video games anyway. I watched friends and family play video games growing up. Hell, watching my mom play Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy is how I got into the role-playing game genre in the first place. And yes, it was my mother who actually played the first Final Fantasy in our house. It wasn't me, it was her. She was the one who played the first Dragon Quest game, which in America was called Dragon Warrior. My mom was actually the one who got me into RPGs in the first place, so my love of all things Dungeons and Dragons and Final Fantasy and mythology, that was all thanks to her. So I would say thank my mother for that, but unfortunately she's no longer with us. I mean, thank her anyway. She still did quite a lot in my formative years to turn me into the lovely little fluffy guy I am today. But yeah, even though there's a part of me that loves going for online clout, and greed, that might be the reason why I'm doing Am I the Asshole posts, even aside from just I find them to be personally enjoyable. We aren't ruining people's possessions and lives. Prank channels, on the other hand, y'all are disgusting. I don't know where you get off thinking that, oh, it's just a prank, bro, lol. Where do you get off thinking that that's okay? Oops. But even aside from, these stupid prank channels, let's get back to the issue at hand, which, yes, I know prank channels are very much on topic at the moment. But, your niece had to have known that that was a bad thing to do. And probably why she posted that stupid shit in the first place. It's like, oh, watch what I'm gonna do to my aunt's $20,000 coat. This is gonna be so funny. You guys should like and subscribe. Actually, it was probably on TikTok, so maybe not like and subscribe, but I mean, you get the idea. But yeah, incredibly, stunningly, just lacking in self-awareness. Like, I can't believe that girl thought that would be a good idea. I think I'm gonna go for that instead of worrying about Dr. Song. Yeah, a move like that is stunningly selfish, just incredibly relentlessly dumb, and seriously without merit. She did that for online clout. Like, that's the part that floors me, is that she did it for a shitty TikTok video that got less than 5 views before it was taken down, and likely because her mother stepped in and said, "Bitch, what the fuck?" Like, maybe not literally in those words, but I mean, it was a $1,500, sorry, it was a $20,000 code, so maybe she used those exact words. Maybe she used words that were far harder. Like, obviously I don't know, but I mean, would I blame her for being that harsh about it? No. No, not at all. Like, that's the sort of thing that someone goes out of their way to do, and then you look at them and go, you must have no empathy, and your life experiences must be measured in literal minutes. Why are you still alive? Alright, so unfortunately I can't use Dr. Song's services at this point. And I don't want that, but it's a nice thought. Magnetic follow-up is okay with Wind Slash. But I think the part that I find so appalling about that is just how lacking in empathy and self-awareness the niece is. Like seriously, that's low. Just to ruin someone's possessions just for a shot at online fame. Like, I would ask how someone can do it, but I mean, honestly, how they can do it is fairly easy. They fill up a loop with paint and throw it at someone. Pretty simple process. The better question is why. We've already answered why. Like, all the questions have been answered. Is just an example of an extremely entitled, silly little bitch. Clearly inexperienced with the way the world works, and just trying to get fame by any means necessary. It's not that I don't understand, I just highly disagree. There really is no reason to do that to somebody. Like, I don't care what it is you're thinking, what sort of hoops you have to jump through to reach that rationale is not worth it, and there's just no point to it. It's just dumb for the sake of being dumb. And I do mean that, for the sake of being dumb, because that's precisely what this is all about. And I might as well grab this. Damage taken, an ass load. I mean, let's look at it this way. What if Zeal decided to throw a paint balloon at one of Freya's super expensive coats? Like, do you think Zeal would still be allowed on the Magic Council after that? And the answer is probably, but maybe shouldn't be if she's gonna act that immature. And that's what it really boils down to, immaturity and naivety. So, that's that post. And now, as we move on to Shu's Palace in the Sky, we will move on to our third. We will now move on to our third Am I the Asshole post. Here's another one of the best ones from the best of this past year. Am I the asshole for skipping Christmas with my parents since they won't treat me like an adult? And this one comes from No Review 8351. I, female 27, have been with my boyfriend, 33, apparently of no gender, for almost 2 years now. We will be getting married eventually, but it's not a priority. My mom won't let us share a bed if we come see them for any reason. When we came over this last summer, my boyfriend suggested renting a hotel so we could have privacy and a comfortable bed. It drove my mom nuts that we bypassed her little rules. She wouldn't drop it the entire time we were there. She made me promise not to do that again. My boyfriend's mom and dad are retired to Mexico and they are very chill, so we made plans to come visit them over Christmas. They are not Christian, so they don't really care when they see their son with regards to religious holidays. We didn't tell my parents we weren't coming. My mom asked me at Thanksgiving if I was going to hold my promise not to stay at a hotel over Christmas. I answered truthfully that I would not stay at a hotel. I am sitting here on the balcony of my future in-laws' condo looking at the Caribbean, waiting for sunrise and enjoying the peace and quiet. I made the mistake of going online yesterday and I saw a bunch of posts from my mom and my sisters about how I was a jerk for lying to them about my plans. I may have been a little tipsy last night because I decided to respond. You see, that's a mistake. Why are you doing that? You're just stoking the flames. I said that it was ridiculous of them to try to tell me I couldn't share a room with my boyfriend, that I was keeping my promise by not staying at a hotel when we were there, and if they planned on putting everything on Facebook, I would be avoiding all visits for the foreseeable future. They took down their post when people started crapping on them for trying to control me, but some people did agree with them. Now they're texting me and calling to say I was an asshole for making them look bad. I mean, you did that all on your own, but okay. I asked them if they were trying to make me look good with their posts. They stopped for a while, but there were more texts and voicemail this morning. I'm kind of liking the idea of skipping out on the drama from now on, but I miss my dad, and he is blameless in this. So am I the asshole? Okay, I'm gonna start by addressing that last point first. Is your dad really blameless in this? Because it seems to me that if he were completely blameless in this, he would be looking at his wife and going, "Really want to start a fight over this?" Now, let's be fair. I understand what they're getting at when she's saying they're not treating me like an adult. That would drive me crazy too. Like, I'm old enough to be making my own decisions. God damn it. Like, you don't need to treat me like a child by telling me that I can't spend time with my significant other when we're out on vacation. Seeing you, I might add. Like, this is our time spent down here isn't just an excuse for us to be boinking in my childhood bed. Now, at the same time, I do think that how our OP handled this is maybe a little on the childish, passive-aggressive side. And again, if your dad was blameless in this, I think you wouldn't be punishing him with your decisions. So I'm not 100% sure you even believe that he's blameless in this. Because again, why wouldn't he sit down and have a conversation with his wife about this very topic? It's like, maybe we don't need to treat our daughter like she's a 12-year-old child anymore. She's obviously an adult and has some understanding of the way of the world. But I also can't help but feel that the passive-aggressive response to this was maybe a little uncalled for. Like, I'm not sure I'm going with strictly in the idea of everyone sucks. And don't get me wrong, everyone does, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards not the asshole. Mostly because I know how I would respond in a situation like that, and if you can't treat me like an adult for, one day out of the year, then that says a lot more about you than it does about me trying to avoid drama. But she also did stoke the flames by being a little tipsy and deciding to respond, again, rather passive-aggressively. Her MO is passive aggression. Okay, Firewall is starting to catch me on it. Starting to catch me here. This is that Firewall shit. If there's something I like, I'll sell you the teddy bear. Problem is, there's nothing I like here. Well, not true, I'll grab that. So, I don't know, what do you guys think? Is that... You think everyone sucks there, or... I don't know, after going over it in my head and thinking, okay, she was really passive-aggressive about it, she could have at least told them, hey, well, I guess she did kind of, did she? I mean, she got the point across by not staying at her parents' place, but when she went to visit them that one time. But at the same time, you could have also just flat out said, hey, the way that you're treating me makes me feel uncomfortable, instead of deciding to go on a, Mexican retreat. Even if it was to your future in-laws' place, the more I rationalize it, the more I keep flip-flopping on my answer. Maybe that's why so many people said everyone sucks, because even though it's understandable that our original poster wanted to not be treated like a child, she also went about things kind of childishly, and if her dad really is innocent in all of this, Reed probably isn't, since he did marry the woman that's treating him like a child. Then why didn't she try talking out the problem instead of just going, alright, screw y'all, bye? So, it's one of those things where both sides have points. No one is 100% strictly right or wrong, and even though there is one side that I think is more right than the other side, it still seems like a giant old mess. So, I think ultimately I'm going to actually agree with the community after, talking it out in my head like 6 times, and say, maybe everybody sucks here. Doesn't seem like there's going to be a good way to resolve that problem until everyone stops acting like a bunch of petulant children and actually talks out their issue. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could all just sit down and talk about our issues like adults? It seems like that's something that's happening less and less nowadays. People actually behaving like goddamn adults. Isn't that sad? That there are so many people out there that are just like, I'm wrong, you're wrong, screw you. Life is not so black and white like that in the end. And the sooner you come to understand that talking about your issues is how we're going to get them resolved, the better off we'll all be. Now the question is, do I read a fourth one at the end of the episode? Like, I personally am not sure it would hurt anything, but I think for the end of the episode, we just focus on clearing the run, and then you guys can tell me what you think of trying to combine formats here. Do we continue to run with occasionally running a cross thing of Am I the Asshole with Wizard of Legend, or should I just stick to one thing? Neither answer is necessarily wrong. I'm just curious as to what you guys all think. Okay, so we want the Curse Eater's Mask, we want Little Sylvan Help, and we want the Sleepy Thunderstone. Perfect. I don't really see a reason to finish exploring the floor, so we'll just move on. Now, Shu, on the other hand, is definitely the asshole for having a signature spell that's way harder to dodge than everyone else's. All right. Go away. Hey. All right. This has been a beautiful run. It's also been a while since I've used the awe robe. I mean, to be fair, I have been trying to avoid using it too much, and it is pretty much the most powerful robe in the game for a reason. That's just because critical hits are such a powerful and integral part of how the game experience works. So I've been trying to avoid using it just to avoid getting too stale. But yeah, let's be fair now when you say that there's a reason why I haven't been using it very much. Wow, I got lucky there. He would use just the right spells that I could just stand inside of the hitbox of. Yeah, that didn't happen a second time though. Lovely. All right, well that concludes our first crossover of Wizard of Legends / Am I the Asshole? The judge is now stepping down from the podium, and yeah, let me know what you guys think of this format. Are you okay with continuing to try to do like crossover episodes like this? Like, I kind of enjoy reading Am I the Asshole, and I wouldn't mind doing more of it, but I want to know what you guys think. Should I continue to do crossovers of it? Should I do it just completely on its own? Or should I avoid doing Am I the Asshole posts in the future just because it is kind of a saturated market? Which, frankly, playing video games on YouTube is a saturated market anyway, but I digress. So let me know what you guys think. Of course, you can get a hold of me via the comments section. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Discord, and I'm all over the place. So just send me a comment somewhere. Thank you very much for watching. Share this around. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you in the next ones. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you.